Assalamualaikum students. Today our topic is structure and kinds of nephron. So the structure of nephron is that nephron starts from a structure called Malpighian body. This structure is Malpighian body. It consists of two parts. One is called Bowman's capsule. This is the cup-like structure. This is Bowman's capsules, and inside this Bowman's capsules there is network of capillaries, and we called it glomerulus. After Malpighian body, there is convoluted tubules. We call them proximal convoluted tubules. The convoluted tubules after Malpighian body are called proximal convoluted tubules, and the convoluted tubules comes after loop of Henle are called distal convoluted tubules. We call them distal convoluted tubules. After proximal convoluted tubules, there is a loop. We called it loop of Henle. And we divided nephrons into two types. One is called cortical nephron, and the other one is, yes, juxtamedullary nephron. This is juxtamedullary nephron. The differences between these two nephrons are the size of cortical nephron is short, whereas the size of juxtamedullary nephron is bigger than this cortical nephron. The other difference is that the loop of Henle is shorter in case of cortical nephron, and the loop of Henle is broader, longer in case of juxtamedullary nephron. And there are two portions of kidneys. I told you before that the outer portion of kidney, what we call them, cortex, and the inner portion of kidney, medulla. So the maximum part of cortical nephron is in cortex size. In this is the division. Upper side is cortex, and this side belongs to medulla. So a little portion of loop of Henle goes into medulla, whereas in case of juxtamedullary nephron, only the distal convoluted tubules, proximal convoluted tubules, distal convoluted tubules, and the Malpighian body, they are present in the cortex of the kidney, whereas loop of Henle penetrate deep into the medulla of the kidney. The division of how much cortex nephrons are present in a kidney of an individual and how much juxtamedullary nephrons are present depends upon the type of animal. I have told you before that according to the mode of excretions, the animals are divided into three categories. Anyone tell me which one? Sit down, Muzaffar. Very good. So there are three categories. Number one, ammonotelic. The second is ureotelic, and the third one is uricotelic. So according to the mode of excretion, the elimination of nitrogenous waste, if the nitrogenous waste is present in the form of ammonia, we call those animals as ammonotelic organisms, and in which the excretion is in the form of urea, we call these animals as ureotelic, and in those animals in which the nitrogenous waste is eliminated from the body in the form of uric acid, we call them uricotelic organisms. So I told you before that if the elimination of nitrogenous waste is in the form of ammonia, it takes too much quantity of water. So only aquatic animals afford this type of excretion, while we belongs in ureotelic organisms and we cannot afford such wastage of water. So in our body, ammonia is converted into urea and then eliminate from our body. So in case of ureotelic organisms, in humans there are 80% cortical nephrons, whereas only 20% are juxtamedullary nephron. But organisms, animals in which birds are included, aves, reptiles, they didn't afford such type of excretion. Why? Because in case of urea there is also a large quantity of water is required, but in case of uricotelic organisms, urea is then converted into uric acid, and very little amount of water and sometimes no amount of water is eliminated from the body. So when organism is uricotelic, the maximum quantity of juxtamedullary nephron present in their body. In birds, their kidney belongs to maximum amount of juxtamedullary nephron, because in loop of Henle maximum amount of water is reabsorbed. Clear? Any question? Yeah. Now the blood supplied to the nephron is started from glomerulus. Glomerulus is a network of capillaries. So the blood enter into the glomerulus from afferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole diameter is bigger and blood leaves the glomerulus from efferent arteriole. And from efferent arterioles where the blood capillaries go. There is a mistake in our textbook, so you must correct it in page number 30. There is a diagram of glomerulus. Filtered blood from glomerulus to body. So filtered blood didn't go to body from glomerulus. From glomerulus, efferent arteries goes towards convoluted tubules. So in case of cortical nephron, efferent arteries go to the convoluted tubules, and in case of juxtamedullary nephron, efferent arteries divided into two partitions. One goes to the convoluted tubules and the other network of capillaries go to the loop of Henle, and we call this capillaries network which are in convoluted tubules, we call them not vasa recta. Vasa recta we called in case of loop of Henle. The capillaries goes to loop of Henle, we call them vasa recta. But the capillaries goes towards the tubules, we call them paratubular capillaries. So these are paratubular capillaries. Paratubular capillaries. So blood goes to paratubular capillaries in case of cortical nephron, and in juxtamedullary nephron there is two partitions. One goes to tubules and we call them paratubular capillaries, and the other portion goes to the vasa and we call them other goes to the loop of Henle and we call them vasa recta. Okay.
To subscribe our channel, like, share and comment please.